Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last. Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
So, as you know, I made this funny little post. I saw this plate of squid and onions on the street the other day.
How did you know it was squid, by the way?
You can tell because of the flappies. It looks like little foreskins. We talked about this on Side Stories. It does. It looks like little, like where you'd hide a little penis.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the celebrity injectable into their face to make themselves look younger.
But I made this funny little joke about how if you leave this plate of squid and onions out, that the Scungilli Man will visit you and give you an Italian surprise. Funny joke, everybody liked it.
Yes,
it did very
Man.
well on Insta. And I was laughing about it with Natalie, and I thought it wouldn't be funny, such a funny thing, this idea that the Scungilli Man is real.
Right.
It's as real as our subject is today.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That type of thing. Being
he is just as real as our subject today.
He is. But then I was like, what if I did a thing where I went into the mirror and I said, the Scungilli Man 9 times.
Sure.
And so it happened. So, and then Nat's like, sure, Henry, you're brilliant. You're the best lover I've ever received.
Well, I think you're adding a little bit.
She said a lot of stuff. She said, I wish I could carry your baby, but your semen's too strong. It needs to go in the drain.
Wow.
That's what she said. I couldn't ever bring your child to term because it'll rip out through my guts.
Yeah, impregnating your own house then.
And so I went into the bathroom and I shut off all the lights. I had smoked a little bit, but I thought it was fun. And I looked in the mirror and I started the ritual where I looked in the mirror dead in my face and I said, the Scungilli Man. The Scungilli Man. The Scungilli Man.
You have to say the Scungilli Man?
It's a part of the ritual.
Okay.
What number was I at?
3. You're at 3. Are you going to do 9?
The Scungilli Man. The Scungilli Man.
5.
The Scungilli Man.
All right, we're at the final countdown here.
The Scungilli Man. The Scungilli Man.
Uh-huh.
And then I had to stop, right? I got to 8 and I had to stop.
Why did you stop?
Because I was
Did
so...
you start smelling?
I started getting weird, but I started smelling it. I was like, but then...
It smells like onions.
But I legitimately was eating squid in the house. And then I go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
And when he goes nuts at night, and then I posted on Insta what I found this morning, just this plate of what I can only describe it as Scungilli on my front step.
Welcome to the last podcast on the left, everyone. I am Ben with Henry and, of course, Marcus Parks. I don't know, Henry. I feel like maybe Marcus, where do I go with this Scungilli Man stuff?
Perhaps you could start with asking him, what the fuck is Scungilli?
We already know what Scungilli is. Isn't that it's
It's
conch.
squid.
It's what?
It's Italian conch.
It's Italian what?
Conch.
Conch?
Conch.
What's conch?
It's a shellfish.
Well,
It's Scungilli. It's conch.
All right, I can't do this.
Apparently, because I was like, Scungilli Man is of normal height, perfectly normal height. It's about 5'7".
That's shorter than normal.
No, he's a normal height.
It's a bit of a
and he wears a bandolero hat and little boots. He's kind of like a twisted gondolier.
Well, that just makes him a gondolier, I think. You'll never find a sane person who likes to float in the middle of a city the way that the gondolier likes to float. Well, folks, we have a topic today that is near and dear to my heart because, where it began, or where the true crime event of this character began, was Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So that's kind of exciting.
Is it?
Well, yes, it is a little bit. Today's topic, we've been getting a lot of people who want us to cover this person, entity, idea, whatever it is. We're talking Slenderman.
Now, to some of you, the topic of Slenderman might seem a little passé. A childish middle school obsession born from a young desire to find the best creepypastas on the internet, of which there are very few.
Well, if you feel that way, you're wrong.
I honestly think that you might be correct. You are correct. But what I love is there's nothing better in the world than hearing Slenderman, or as several of the Waukesha police refer to him as Slenderman, like Mr. Slenderman.
Yeah, he's Jewish until proven otherwise.
This story, hearing people take it seriously, is one of the funniest bits on the face of the planet. Listening to Coast AM and them trying to take it super seriously, and the guest host, the guy that was sitting in for George Norrie, one episode I was listening to, just being like, I gotta tell ya, if you keep putting nasty names in the titles of these emails, I am not gonna read them.
I would love to see the Coast to Coast fan emails that just say "fuck you" hard out.
Yes.
Well, for us, Slenderman has always held somewhat of a sideways fascination, partly because we get to see this modern-day myth created on something awful, and we get to see it spread through the X board on 4chan, back before the Poll and R9K boards infected 4chan and took over the entire site. Something totally different now than it was back then.
Well, now it's just a grave of its former self. It's not even the real spot anymore. I believe it's 8chan that I don't even go to. I don't go into those realms anymore.
No.
The only Chan I like is Jackie Chan. He did his own stunts, and he even injured his own leg in Rush Hour, and he continued on filming Rush Hour 3.
I was actually Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh, that was Rumble in the Bronx when he jumped off.
Because they showed it in the blooper reel at the end of the movie.
That's right.
That's right. And he was the first person to actually have a bone grow in the tip of his penis. And then he went and broke.
Whoa, I believe it.
Now, Slenderman has shown up on a few of our creepypasta episodes over the years, usually as an erotic joke.
He's got a big, thick old cock. That's one thing we know about him. But we've heard that a lot about lanky guys.
Yes, we have.
With the publication of Nick Redfern's book on Slenderman in 2018, which works as our main source today, our view on Slenderman has somewhat shifted.
Sure.
Wait,
I mean,
it has? When are you guys going to tell me what my view should be? I didn't know it shifted.
I don't believe in Slenderman, and I don't believe in a slender man ever. I never believe in a slender man. I think anybody should have meat on their bones. But the one thing I do believe in is the Scungilli Man.
I know I don't want to hear about Scungilli Man anymore.
Well, Nick Redfern kind of approached the whole Slenderman thing from a different perspective. See, the thing about Slenderman is that there are plenty of people out there who believe he's real, just like people believe that Bigfoot, the Chupacabra, and the Loch Ness Monster are real. Mm-hmm. This tall, thin, faceless, white-skinned creature in a suit who stalks children and drives its victims to the brink of insanity became, in a very short period of time, something to talk about on Coast to Coast, a curious news story, and something to fear.
Let me ask you something. You seem to be an expert on the Slender Man. I've seen him often in a very nice, it's well-cut Italian suit. Does the Slender Man ever wear shorts? What about the summertime?
Well, we haven't really noticed him wearing shorts at this point, George.
No, that's not a proper Coast to Coast AM. They always go, George, you know what I tell you? Maybe it doesn't come in some of my research, but a lot of the research points there might be a summer version of the Slender Man. He might have a bathing suit.
Well, you never know. All I know is, why are you talking to me about Slender Man? I'm here to talk about the Scungilli Man.
It's taking hold.
Yes, it is.
In other words, Slenderman, in some ways, has gone from creepypasta to cryptid. But while Bigfoot lives in the forest and Nessie lives in the loch, Slenderman lives inside of the internet, the digital frontier, the last truly unknowable place on Earth outside of the deepest parts of the ocean.
Cool, he's like Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, man.
But with a bigger ding-dong.
Yeah, this is like a hard X version of Epcot.
Is it possible that Slenderman became so famous because he looks like Jack Skellington and young girls want to have sex with him?
You know,
Wow. You honestly, you're close.
Did I? Okay, am I good? I'm
wow,
getting there?
you're really hitting close to the heart of this whole thing.
Great.
Yep.
Now, looking through all the thousands of different websites about Slenderman, it's difficult to suss out the people who actually claim to have seen something like Slenderman from those who are just whipping up a big bowl of spooky spaghetti.
Macabre manica. But it's fun to hear some things that Nick Redfern puts in this book of he's like, and there's the terrible story of Linda Appelman. She turned on her laptop personal computer and went into the bedroom and only to come out to see the eyeless, lipless face of the Slenderman.
Whoa, that is scary when you say it like Paul McCartney having sex with John Lennon.
That's what he sounds like.
Well, part of what makes the Slenderman story powerful is the purposeful mixing of fantasy and reality, which is obvious to us, but can be highly confusing to a developing mind. But this is also nothing new in the world of horror. When I was a kid, I 100% believed that not only was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre real, but I believe it happened less than an hour's drive from the town where I grew up.
It did.
Yeah, Marcus, are you kidding? I mean, but seriously, the idea of having a family of inbreds murder a bunch of people whose car is broken down, that's very possible.
You have members of your own family kill other people that their descents are also probably like really mixed up. You know what I mean? That some of the branches are kind of on top of each other in the family tree.
You're actually Chop Top.
Man, I love music.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. If you haven't watched it, you must watch it. And just know it's Marcus's favorite movie. And then throughout the entire film, you'll be like, yep.
Yes.
All right.
That tracks.
Totally
That tracks.
makes sense.
Music is my life.
Love Mr. Mosley.
But the difference is that while it was terrifying to think that such a brutal massacre had occurred near my childhood home, there was no invitation from the Sawyers to join them in their secluded farmhouse for more fun family dinners. Unlike Leatherface, Slenderman is not a static character. The very nature of Slenderman begs for interaction and collaboration because the internet, where the character of Slenderman lives, is built on those two principles.
I don't want to say I'm the Leatherface expert, but I am large and I do have homicidal tendencies, and I would love to change my face and wear others as a mask.
What?
What I'm saying is, I believe that Leatherface is actually extremely complex, and I think he wanted friends, and that's what they were.
Leatherface is deep.
Leatherface is one of the deeper of the maniac killers.
Slenderman is a mirror. Slenderman is a mirror image of whatever you want to put into Slenderman. Do you want to be one of his proxies, sucking his dick for the rest of time? Do you want to be Bigfoot, strapped to a chair, getting your legs put above your ankles, being made love to you by Slenderman, his big, thick, and gorged cock? Do you want to be Chupacabra at dinner with Slenderman? Slenderman says, hey, let's go back to my house. We go back to his house. Next thing you know, your ankles are behind your ears, you're chained to a chair, and you are just getting furiously made love to again by Slenderman.
Okay, I do believe that Leatherface probably has a small dong.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
I'd agree.
So.
Yeah, I'd agree too.
It's okay.
But the reason why Slenderman works is because it taps into something deep in the collective unconscious of humanity concerning the monsters we create within our own minds. In other words, the image of the tall, thin, terrifying creature is not new.
Never be scared of the short man. He's always kind and he has a plan.
This level of heightism is going to come back and haunt you.
Of the tall white man.
You wait for the tall revolution in 2030 when people play this audio and you get canceled. You wait.
They're always scared of tall skinnies. No one's ever scared of a short round.
Snoop Dogg, did you see the picture with Tupac and Snoop? Snoop is the size of he's a coat hanger. He's one of the best people of all time.
He killed somebody.
He had to kill somebody.
Well, what's new here is that we gave this tall, thin, terrifying creature a name. And as we know, names have power. And, you might say Slenderman's lame as fuck. And it kinda is.
Yeah.
But considering how Slenderman was linked to a string of deaths and attacks in the last decade, it's hard to argue that while he is lame, it's hard to argue that Slenderman doesn't have power.
I
man.
I think the true bitterness comes from, and I feel this too, of all the various mysterious creatures and entities that exist, but that something as dumb as Slenderman got the golden laurel of true crime and have murders and attacks like placed at its feet. It doesn't deserve it.
No.
I mean, we live in a world where POD made grown men cry because they loved the music so much.
Yeah, the world's not always fair, Henry.
No. That is like
Yeah, sometimes the wrong thing makes it big. POD didn't deserve to be big at all.
Yeah.
And yet
Us.
there we were. Now, technically, as far as legendary monsters go, Slenderman is the newest on the scene when it comes to the big boys, knocking the infamous Chupacabra off the top slot when it comes to being the new kid in town.
oh, what a rock and roll high school that is.
Cryptid High School has already been in development 5 times. Someone's doing it. The problem is that they had what's her name? Somebody from Ellie, whatever her name is from the other show. No, I don't know. They just have a white woman playing Chupacabra, so they had to cancel it 3 different times.
Well, only a Chupacabra should play a Chupacabra, so find me a Chupacabra.
I think so. There needs to be Chupacabra representation in
I
all
agree.
forms of media.
However, while the Chupacabra's origin is somewhat mysterious, Slenderman's origin can be traced to a specific date when it was freely offered up as a fictional being on a simple image board.
That is the one truly fascinating thing about Slenderman as a 36-year-old man. I think our generation, because I looked up #Slenderman on TikTok. Right, I looked it up just to see what the kids were saying. Well, it's interesting to see the people that are, because it started in 2009, the people that are 10 years younger than us were 14 when Slenderman was born. We were already full-time adults, right? We technically, I mean, we didn't live like it, but by age-wise.
No, but you can't believe in Slenderman when you're mid-20s.
Yeah.
You can if you're on a lot of mushrooms.
Well, yes, of course. You believe in a lot of things.
You're like 24. We saw Slenderman be born, and we watched it grow. To us, I always knew it as I always knew it as a meme. I always knew it as just some dumb image. But there's a younger generation that grew up with Slenderman as an actual character, and it seems to be a popular, this is just... now I don't know what the hell I sound like. I sound like I don't know, I'm grooming TikTok for myself, where the younger generations grew up with a more folklore version of Slenderman, where they believed in it more wholeheartedly, and it became a part of their mythos.
But is it on TikTok? Did he make it to TikTok?
No, he's not like a partner or anything.
No, but I'm saying...
Yeah, no, he's on there now.
He is on
plenty.
there. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's piles and piles of videos. People talking about Slenderman.
Okay.
Yeah. In June of 2009, a user on somethingawful.com named Eric Knudsen, going by the handle of Victor Surge.
Whoa! Are you telling me a guy with the last name Knudsen didn't stick with it for his little name on the internet?
Well, he participated in a Photoshop free-for-all. Right now you can see these types of Photoshop contests on subreddits like Photoshop battles.
Yeah.
But the task was to take a normal picture and make it appear as if a paranormal event had been captured on film. So Knudsen took a black and white photo of a group of kids on a playground and photoshopped a tall, thin monster wearing a black suit into the background amongst some of the children.
Because all the real villains wear a fucking suit, man.
Yeah, they do. Honestly, but this picture was so scary.
It was scary.
Really cool.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
Captioning the photo, he wrote this.
We didn't want to go, and we didn't want to kill him. But its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time.
Whoa.
The photo was then attributed to photographer unknown, presumed dead.
Hella scary, dude. Hella fucking spooky, bro.
It is scary.
He then posted another photo of a group of young teenagers in the 80s, and again photoshopped the disturbing otherworldly figure into the background. This one read, quote,
One of 2 recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze. Notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished, and for what is referred to as the Slender Man.
Dude, am sending chills down my big old spine. It holds up. It is scary.
It's because you're sweating.
Yeah.
That second photo was attributed to Mary Thomas, missing since June 13th, 1986.
Whoa, bitch is dead. Hella fucking spooky, dude.
Maybe she was driving through Texas, and she picked up a hitchhiker and ended up for dinner.
Unless she left out a plate of squid and onions.
Yeah, you're going to do
Scungilli
Scungilli Man. Do not stop making Scungilli Man happen.
Now, obviously, Knudsen wasn't passing any of this off as real. The whole point was that they were faking these images to see who could make the scariest one.
The last thing we need, Marcus, is an Italian cryptid. Can you edit out every time Henry says the word Scungilli Man?
I don't think
we
that you
want
can.
an Italian cryptid to this.
Absolutely not. I want to see where this goes. I want to see if Scungilli Man I want to see if Scungilli Man shows up.
Okay.
I mean, the more you call to him, the more you let him in, the more you let him see,
Oh my God.
the more the Scungilli Man knows, and the more he can use that against you.
All he does is eat onions and disgusting sea creature.
I don't know what else he will continue to do once he's done with the appetizers.
Yeah, Scungilli Man. I mean, that shit's in L.A. Y'all are out in L.A. I'm still in New York. I don't got to deal with Scungilli Man.
Scungilli Man is attracted to crudo.
I don't. All right.
But somehow, Knudsen had tapped into something big, and within weeks, if not days, Slenderman was a bona fide meme on its way to becoming an established part of internet lore. Now, the word meme has pretty much had all its meaning stripped away by the internet in the last decade, reducing a somewhat complex idea to a shorthand for funny picture posted on the internet.
This is where we officially become like the boring older dude at a teenager's parties where we are trying to be like, yeah, you guys think fucking memes are funny? Oh, you have a folder on your phone that says for memes only? Well, let me tell you something else. Memes actually can be pretty serious.
Yeah. How many high school parties have you been invited to?
No, I just watch them.
You just watch them?
Dressed with my bandolero hat on and my tiny shoes, my plate of squid and onions. As I slowly
is watching us.
Well, the word itself has actually been around since the 70s, coined by Richard Dawkins in his 1976 book, The Selfish Gene. His definition of a meme was an element of culture or an idea that is passed from one individual to another. For example, think of the Air Jordan logo.
Yeah, buddy. I do every day, bro.
Sure.
This simple image, now recognizable almost anywhere in the world, helped spread American ideals through the cultural colonization of other countries, which has always been America's colonization tactic of choice.
Yep.
In addition to that, the logo also subtly carries Nike's ideas of brutal capitalism, and the image of Jordan dunking over the world carries Jordan's own ideas of winning at all costs, and all of this is conveyed in one simple monochromatic image.
Man, now that you broke it down like that, that's fucking metal as hell.
Well, there was a great meme. As a matter of fact, I saw the Detroit Pistons. They have the Jordan logo above them, above the word Detroit now on their jerseys. That is like such a win.
Well, because he's been planning that for years.
Yeah, he just won.
He's like, one day I will buy the Detroit Pistons fucking stadium. I will fucking name it the Jordan Sports Industrial Zone.
In other words, a meme is essentially a thought virus, infecting people with information. And Slenderman worked much the same way, but on a much smaller scale. Whereas the Air Jordan logo conveys athleticism, the simple, tall, white, skinny figure of Slenderman conveys a primordial fear.
It's because the skinnies are evil.
Hey,
Skinnies are scary.
No, we're not. We're fine. I'm a skinny. I am a very skinny. And I can't help it.
Yeah, he can't help it. He's a toffee, thin on the outside, fat on the inside.
I don't view you as a skinny.
He is skinny.
No,
he weighs 135 pounds.
No, there's
I don't
a
weigh
difference
135 pounds. I weigh 150 pounds.
No, well, he's not that skinny.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he is not skinny. I'm saying that he's not a skinny. A skinny is one of the people that you could see like the back of their shoulder bones.
Well, it's a medical condition. That's someone who is struggling with a certain eating
You can
disorder.
see the back of my shoulder bones when I take my shirt
Only
off.
if you're really looking.
You're supposed to be able to see the bone structure in a human being.
I'm the healthiest one out of the three of us, easily.
I'm getting healthier.
Actually, is that true? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I drink a lot more.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe I'm at a crossroads here.
What? What? All right, can we get back to something less horrifying than Henry's health, Slender Man?
Well, interestingly, this impossibly skinny nightmare creature has been around for millennia. Cave paintings found in Brazil from 9,000 years ago portray a terrifying figure with overly long arms and legs towering over other representations of humans that are perfectly normal. And I've seen these cave paintings. Not, in real life, I saw pictures, but these cave paintings do exist.
Cool. Yeah, man. They're scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying to see. There's also Der Grossmann, or the Tall Man, which is claimed to be a German folk tale.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder where it comes from. I don't know.
Yeah, Germany is where it comes from.
Arriving in the 16th century, supposedly, Der Grossmann was said to be an incredibly tall and thin fairy who lived in the Black Forest and preyed on children. Working as a cautionary tale, Der Grossmann's M.O. was to chase children who snuck into the forest late at night, and if he were to catch them, he would whisk them away forever to parts unknown.
Cool.
In another tale, Der Grossmann would tap on the windows of children, just tap, 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 tap,
Ding, 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 ding.
yeah, tap on the windows of children who stayed up too late, and would again take them away to some other land.
We are going to Cabo to hang out for the weekend, Miss Shammy Hagar.
Sweet!
The Slender believers say that there's a woodcutting from 1497 that proves that the image of Slender Man, as we know him, has been around for centuries. However, the woodcutting they're talking about, Der Ritter, is a fake.
It's a fake.
Oh, no!
The real version shows an anthropomorphized version of Death piercing a knight with a lance.
Yeah.
But the internet added extra limbs and gave Death Slender Man's eyeless, mouthless face. It's a fucking fake. In fact, I don't even know if Der Grossmann was an actual old folk tale or if the entire story was a creation of the internet, even though stories of tall, thin creatures do show up in Irish, Scottish, Lakota, and Romanian folklore.
All famously small people.
Yeah, interesting how you're still obsessed with height. So what's interesting is, I guess, before Slenderman, before Scungilli Man, before the Chupacabra was just the Grim Reaper, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't the Grim Reaper be considered sort of a tulpa-type creature, a cryptid in its own kind of right?
This is literally an episode we should do. We should talk about the history of the concept of the Grim Reaper, because I don't know how old what we know is the Grim
sickle
Reaper
and all that stuff.
I don't know how old that image is, but it's interesting that these stretched out characters, it might be born from our own nightmares. We had a really good email from someone who worked in the psych industry. I call it the psych industry for side stories. And we were talking about the man in the tall hat, like the people seeing these entities mid-sleep in sleep paralysis. And he said one thing that the brain does is that it stretches things out to fill space, is that it'll see a thing and basically it will fill it up. The brain kind of fills it up. And our brain is also, we're good at seeing faces, but we're not good at making faces. So a lot of times in a half sleep, what we'll see are these big, wide open mouths, because you're basically watching your brain experience lag, creating an image that it can't fully crystallize. So what and you're already in a high agitation state because you believe yourself to be paralyzed. You can't move. You are paralyzed. You can't move. And you see this thing, and the apprehension kind of adds a sort of energy to that very image. And I wonder if it's just sleep paralysis and these things have been around since consciousness started.
But even if Der Grossmann is a fabrication, it still tells us that the character of Slenderman took on a life of its own beyond Knudsen's original creation, making Slenderman a collaborative cryptid. But in Knudsen's creation of the character, he himself took inspiration from quite a few pop culture figures, and at least one real-life series of crimes that could have been a case of imagination run wild themselves. As far as figures went, Knudsen gave Slenderman tentacles as a nod to Lovecraft's Cthulhu.
I think it's very generous that you said as a nod and not as a
Complete
rip-off.
total rip-off, yeah.
I mean, Cthulhu's Cthulhu.
What's interesting, though, is that, well, I don't know, man. Cthulhu don't own tentacles.
He don't own tentacles.
He doesn't own tentacles.
You know who does own tentacles? Scungilli Man and his many buckets.
Yeah, you're going to bring him up again, huh?
What's interesting, though, is that as a child, Lovecraft was also supposedly plagued by Slenderman-like creatures that he called night gaunts.
Yep.
Yes. I always have whenever I have to take a liquid dump in the middle of the night, I call it my night gaunt. Well, we can edit that out.
Now it stays.
Rubbery to the touch, these creatures, who also supposedly appeared to Lovecraft's mother, arrived as living shadows without faces, and they eventually made their way into the whole Cthulhu mythos as something different altogether. They eventually became like winged bat demons.
Cool.
As far as those real-life crimes went, Knudsen was also inspired by a bizarre case from the 1940s known as the Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
But Marcus, you have to say it correctly. It's the Mad Gasser of Mattoon. Have you seen the gasser on that Mattoon over there?
Yes, indeed.
Well, this person, the Mad Gasser, supposedly broke into 24 houses in Mattoon, Illinois over a 2-week period and victimized the citizens of the town, spraying them with a foul-smelling gas that induced nausea, vomiting, and a debilitating effect that sounds a lot like sleep paralysis.
With any luck, they'll call me Skunk Boy.
According to witnesses, the Mad Gasser was a tall, thin man dressed in black who would rob his victims blind, leaving behind only the pungent odor of the gas he used to immobilize the good people of Mattoon.
Maybe they'll call me the Farty Riddler.
I'd say, yeah, check the years on this, and if you take this up to, I wonder if there was any sort of copycat crimes of this nature in the 2000s, early 2000s in Marquette, Wisconsin, where we went to school. I like to trace some of the gas station cameras to some of the activities of the Mad Gasser of Marquette.
Well, I went to Milwaukee. Marquette's the private school where Chris Farley went.
the good one.
Yes, Marquette is the good one. Yes, I went to the public school. Milwaukee University, go Panthers. Rawr.
Now, this case was serious enough to warrant a visit from the FBI, and the entire town freaked out so bad that a statement had to be made by the local health commissioner.
Yeah.
This was that statement.
There is no doubt that a gas maniac exists and has made a number of attacks, but many of the reported attacks are nothing more than hysteria. Fear of the gas man is entirely out of proportion to the menace of the relatively harmless gas he is spraying. The whole town is sick with hysteria and surprisingly low on gas.
Sir, it sounds like you might be the Mad Gasser.
No, absolutely not. My gases are only the most delicious and fragrant of gases. Please sample some from my gas canister.
Why is that guy making excuses for the Mad Gasser?
I will confess. I will confess. I've become John F. Kennedy. I will confess. I have a warehouse filled with gas canisters that I must move.
I don't understand. You're not taking this seriously enough. I was making love to my wife. A man broke in and put a bunch of smells in my room. Then I passed out and then he robbed me blind. This is a big deal.
Should never go to sleep with your wife. That's the first step right there. Sleeping in beds.
The gas put me to sleep. Not making love to my wife.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. You know, stigma shows up in a lot of different places. I know I had to explain to my handyman about the devil imagery in my home, I had to explain that in our home, El Diablo es bueno. And he reluctantly agreed. I think largely just because he was in my home and he was scared. But over time, he began to see, the devil can be my amigo. See, even in 2026, stigma can get in the way of a lot of things, right? My handyman almost didn't put up my floating media cabinet, right? You gotta get support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking the first step yourself because you're busy, worried what others will think, or telling yourself you should handle it alone. No, you need a team. Get therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform. Give me a space to slow down and talk through what's building before it feels unmanageable. So let's take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of ethics and are fully qualified. So don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
Hey there, everybody. Is your cell phone bill too much money? Are you getting that bill and you're like, hey, what is this? I can't believe for what? For 5G? Are you crazy right now? $100? I don't even barely got any bars when I'm just sitting in my living room, okay? You don't have to deal with that anymore. Are you ready for this? $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month on Mint Mobile. Yeah, baby. Get their wireless plan, because they're just sitting there on the T-Mobile 5G network, and it's just $15. Your whole life, you're just paying all this money every month. You're like, why? Where's it going? It's going to these phone companies that are robbing you. So go to Mint Mobile. Let them help you talk to your mom. So get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when the network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabytes hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
Probably the most obvious visual reference when it comes to Slenderman are the men in black, who also wear black suits, are also often tall and thin, and more often than not, have pasty white skin. And sure enough, the ominous, dreamlike, disorienting feelings that people report during Men in Black encounters are the same feelings people report after having supposed real-life interactions with Slenderman-like creatures. See, after the Slenderman story started making its rounds, people began saying that they'd seen this creature before. Now, 99% of these stories were fabrications, of course, but I'm sure that at least a few of these people truly believed that they'd had an encounter.
If you listen to any of the Wildlines calls from coast to coast, people have been afraid of skinny people for a long time because they've seen some stuff, and they always call in like, I'm just calling to tell you, George, the other day I saw a man in a suit lying on the ground, and I took a picture of it just to show my friends because I knew that they wouldn't believe. I knew, and his suit was so black.
Yeah, it was just a businessman who was hammered after happy hour.
I think in the end, I'm just so scared of the eventual fall of capitalism and what that will mean. I'm not ready for the ideological or physiological differences that a socialist universe will provide for me.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you have it, folks.
From there, the story of Slenderman evolved quickly, and amateur writers all over the internet added to the mythos. pretty soon, Slenderman was a passive-aggressive creature who stalked his targets for years, using fear and paranoia to drive his victims insane.
Wait a second, is Slenderman my mother?
Honestly, it really could be your mother.
As far as abilities go, Slenderman can turn invisible, sprout tentacles, control minds, and teleport. He can also cause nightmares, convulsions, exhaustion, vomiting, and hallucinations by infecting his victims with what's called Slender sickness.
Please pass him over here to this side of the table.
Yes, indeed. I'll take some of that.
So by November of 2009, just 4 months after Slenderman's creation, the character had made its way all the way to Coast AM. Once George Norrie started talking about the phenomenon, he got caller after caller claiming, holy shit, I've seen that thing before in the real world.
I can't believe it made it all the way to Coast AM.
Well, nothing's like the follow-up articles. So there was like several UK sightings of the Slenderman that were, I don't know how to put this. There were several sightings of the UK Slenderman. Right? There was fourth, and that man that was in charge of it was an investigator. The only way to put it is that, you know, Nick Frost, the partner of Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Sure, love Nick Frost.
Yeah,
love what
great.
they do. Love Simon Pegg.
Imagine a less masculine version of Nick Frost. And that's the only thing that stands between us and the Slenderman.
Okay, well, Nick Frost, I mean, in Shaun of the Dead, he did kill a lot of zombies. He
did.
was a pretty tough guy.
He did, but I'm
We
saying
could take
less than that.
Yeah, one step down.
Less than that.
Less than one step down.
I'm going to say a flight.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't feel so safe anymore. But
Now, all these calls to Coast, I mean, it all could very much be a case of bandwagon jumping, and it could also be that a lot of these people just saw a big, scary tree branch that looked like a tall, thin creature stalking them in the woods.
yeah.
But other interesting things were happening on the internet in 2009 besides just Slenderman. That was the same year that a bunch of terribly lonely men on 4chan all got together and began experimenting with the creation of tulpas. And these keyboard occultists began calling themselves tulpamancers.
Now, we've
Well, that is a fancy way of saying virgin. And nothing's wrong with that.
really good walk
Nothing's
back.
wrong with that.
What a good moonwalk out of that.
No problem.
I think that these guys, it's interesting
Yeah.
because we've talked about tulpas quite a bit on this show. Now, what we've realized over time, it's like we've talked about tulpas, but now I did a little bit more research in it. The original idea of a tulpa was supposed to be just like an envisioning of a 3D version of a gift that you would give in Buddhist lore, like you would give to like an entryway point, like to a god or some sort of
An
entity
offering.
on their side. An offering. You would imagine you'd create an apple. Like that's an example in your mind, and you'd use that in your visualization techniques during meditation, right? But it has turned into a thing for 19-year-olds on 4chan in 2009 to want to create like a fucking Pokemon with tits that they can fuck.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, ostensibly, these dudes were trying to create thought form energy ghosts out of sheer loneliness, hoping to conjure companions out of thin air using nothing but willpower and deep concentration.
Yes,
And it went
indeed.
from, we can fuck these things to like, or I will use them as my many henchmen to get back at the people that said I would never run a Blockbuster. And now you'll see, I fucking ruined Blockbuster with my many floating bees.
Wow, Pokemon
I made 100
Go.
bees, and they've all got guns, and one of them's my wife, and the other one's my new mommy, because she doesn't get my tulpas. She doesn't understand that I'm a tulpamancer now. I don't need a job.
Well, indeed you don't. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get one anyway. So I'm happy you don't want one. Pokemon Go, Henry, what you're describing sounds more like a Pokemon Ho.
Wow. Been waiting for that one, huh?
Wow.
No.
Is that like in your
I actually didn't want to say that.
Wow. What did you... I'm like... I'm so
damn it.
upset.
Yeah, let's just take a second on that.
This is just you. You've set us back.
No, I know. It wasn't good. That's bad. We're back. We're back.
However, if you listen to the stories from some of the tulpamancers, as well as others who tried doing it long before 4chan did, tulpas tend to have a mind of their own outside of their creators. For example, take Jeff the Talking Mongoose.
Oh, honk honk.
It's appropriate now.
I know.
As we said on our episode, some speculate that Jeff was a tulpa, a creation of the Irving family. But Jeff didn't take orders from anyone.
Yeah, dude.
He was, however, still a freewheeling, fun-loving creature for the most part, because he was the creation of a loving environment.
Yeah, and it shows the difference between nature versus nurture.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Sometimes you have to give love. You have to give love.
You do have to give
If you want your talking mongoose to not, like, rape a bunch of teens, you got to give love.
You do have to give love. Absolutely. It creates a much better life for everyone.
But if a good tulpa can be created, then it follows that a bad tulpa could be created as well.
Oh, no.
And some think that while Slenderman started off as a throwaway Photoshop image, he was essentially brought into the real world through collective tulpamancy.
Whoa!
Make them remember me, Jason.
But
Make them remember me, Jason.
but
It's
normally,
Freddy Krueger style.
if you do believe in the idea of creating a tulpa, most tulpas, to be honest, they all go bad. They all flip into something and they create their own agenda. There seems to be, Jeff was the most innocent of these ideas, if that's true. But people talk about that original tulpa experiment when they created that, the Philip experiment. And then there's also the stories of Dion
Warwick?
Not surprisingly, not Dion Warwick.
Dion Fortune.
Yeah, it's Dion Fortune. A better name, but less talented.
Okay.
She created this fat monk tulpa that's this famous, like this jolly fat monk that became again tall and thin and evil. After a while, once it gained its own sentience, if you believe all this.
Interesting.
Well, within just a couple of years of his creation, we started to see that there were at the very least thousands of people who were beginning to believe that Slenderman was an actual being with very real desires, wants, and goals walking the earth.
Very real desires.
He wants a hamburger.
He likes fucking snooch, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah?
And butt.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's attached to.
Oh, my goodness.
He's a horny man.
Wow.
Slenderman's a horny doll guy.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to it.
Now, most people just believe Slenderman was a boogeyman, an unknowable creature of death and destruction.
Yeah.
But you also had legions of lonely teenagers who were starting to identify as followers of Slenderman. These kids were reading creepypasta stories and believing them to be true, or at the very least, pretending to believe they were true. Because, as I'm sure most of our listeners know, lonely kids do and believe in some weird shit.
Of
on
course.
purpose. The point is to see who else wants to believe in your own little world with you. I really do think there's it's a collective choice of your obsessions as a little kid that brings kids together. And there was something about Slenderman that I think that what you said is kind of true originally about the Jack Skellington thing, that they built out his mythos to have these proxies, right? That he had these little creatures that were around him, his sort of like slaves. It's quote unquote, it's emo. It's for like goth 12-year-olds.
I would have been totally into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's cool.
And there's something about belonging to a group. It's kind of like, like when people say stuff like, schools weren't there for me, my mom and dad weren't there for me, so that's why I joined the gang. You know what I mean? It's that thing. I joined a gang.
You have a great insight into what it is to grow up in perhaps a lower income community, struggling to survive. Someone who maybe
the streets wouldn't let me out. They wouldn't understand me. So that's why I joined the old peanut butter gang.
You joined the peanut butter gang.
Yeah, it's a bunch of old guys, man.
Okay, so what do you bring the peanut butter? Or do they
you bring
the
the initiation, man. You got to get buttered in, dude.
You get buttered in. You've been molested.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you're going to want to go to therapy for the next 15 to 25
I'm already
years.
in therapy. Do I got to pay her double now?
Yeah, you got to triple that up.
Well, as Henry said, these followers identified themselves as proxies, humans who did the bidding of Slenderman. But since there is no actual Slenderman giving orders, these proxies took existing Slenderman stories and extrapolated, trying to predict maybe this is what Slenderman would want. Essentially, they created a self-driven belief system out of a meme, making a demigod from a Photoshop image. And if that ain't chaos magic running loose on Earth, then I don't fucking know what is.
That's the thing, is that it's compelling in the fact that they took it so seriously.
Yeah,
little
absolutely.
kids have the ability to really spin this out. And we watched this happen in real time over the last 11 years. Essentially, we watched it go from bullshit to bullshit that gets people killed.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, the collective unconscious of 12-year-olds is horrifying.
Horrifying.
And that's what brings us to Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Waukesha.
Waukesha? okay.
Waukesha.
Yeah, it's not Waukesha. It's not like the new Kesha album, but from the Midwest.
I gave it the fucking Texas accent. I'm sorry, all right? I'm very sorry. In 2014, the story of Slenderman jumped out of the internet and into the brain of a 12-year-old schizophrenic girl and her lonely friend. And the result would be a brutal attempted murder in the name of Slenderman.
Marcus, I do want to thank you for pronouncing Waukesha correctly. Yes, we did steal it from the Native Americans, but please, God, get it right.
I'm still halfway on the schizophrenic nature of this little girl. I think that this little girl is very dangerous, but we'll get into the story.
Now, it's interesting that all this happened in Waukesha because the town, strangely enough, has a long history of vicious murder, unexplained deaths, and what appears to be a death curse.
Fuck yeah, hell yeah, dude.
That town has a death curse.
Yeah, it's called high cholesterol.
Oh, Henry!
And it also has a nice dash of local folklore. Way back in the early days of settlement, the first residents told stories about a creature called the Water Man who lived in a hidden lair in the deepest part of the rivers.
Not very creative, but that's fine.
Well, he's in the water. He's a man. What do you mean?
The Scungilli Man technically has a lot more merit. It's got a lot more depth to it than the Water Man.
Yeah, but the Scungilli Man isn't real and the Water Man's real.
We'll see what happens.
This creature walked and talked like a normal man. And if he was wearing a hat, he could only be identified by the constantly wet handkerchief hanging from his pocket.
Yeah, hot enough for you? Yeah, it's why only my napkins are wet.
Well, you know the Water Man would sound like, oh, I don't have an accent. They have an accent.
They're the ones with
They're the ones with the accent.
They have an accent here, not over here. I'm just here hanging out in the water.
Water.
A hatless Water Man, however, meant certain death.
Whoa.
Get him a hat. Take Waterman to fucking lids.
Yeah, always.
Atop his head were long tendrils that would drag unsuspecting victims into the water, much like Slenderman's tentacles were often used to subdue potential targets.
Is it possible that white people just don't know how to swim?
Well, I mean, it's a cautionary tale. This is the type of thing that you tell children so they don't go near the water and accidentally drown themselves. That's where most folklore comes from.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Wisconsin is full of Germans and Norwegians. We're drowning people.
You're drowning people. You guys do sink in. You're heavy bones.
Yes.
But the Waterman and these type of things, what's called it works on a circuit. It's a way to, technically this is secret schools in the tiniest version where you tell a story in order to not convey the boring information of like, you shouldn't swim in there, it's dangerous, because as soon as they say, oh, it's dangerous. Heck yeah. Me and the Peanut Butter Gang are going down there. Me and Gerald and Mortimer from the Peanut Butter Gang.
Yeah, but those are two grown men. Old men.
Super grown. Overgrown.
Yeah. Overgrown. Yeah,
teaching me how to grow.
I also think it's kind of amazing that parents came up with the Water Man instead of teaching their children to swim. You know, my parents were very good about that. They threw me in the water right away. I'm a great swimmer.
They try to kill you.
Yes. And I keep on coming back like Jason Voorhees.
Well, the story of the Waterman is actually Slavic in origin. They called him Vodyanoi. And this
that's cool.
Yeah, Vodyanoi. And this original creature, with the face of a toad, enticed victims to the water's edge and dragged them into the water with horrible, slimy tentacles.
Marcus, how does that make you feel?
Fucking horrified. I hate toads and a fucking monster with the face of a toad. I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
All right, let's say the hottest body you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Big,
huge butts.
But face of a toad?
Yeah.
Well, everything is nullified by the face of a toad.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's no longer a human.
Well, that's just the folklore. And naturally, no actual deaths were ever attributed to the Waterman of Waukesha. The story of the Hilla farm outside of Waukesha, however, is a different story. This farm was said to be cursed, and a decades-long string of violent and mysterious deaths seemed to confirm that claim. In 1898, the wife of German immigrant farmer John Hille was struck with a mysterious illness. Now, the doctor on site never figured out what the illness was because he ended up accidentally killing Margaret Hille after accidentally giving her poison instead of medicine.
It's a bit of a mix-em-up.
That's a mix. You should never keep your poison needle right by your,
Always separate them. Mark them with a marker. You put a little P on it for poison is always good.
Yes, absolutely. But then also, oh my God, what's the frickin' drug in Tylenol?
Acetaminophen.
No, it starts with a P.
You said it.
What?
Acetaminophen. That's what's in
Acetaminophen.
That's what's in Tylenol.
I'm talking about the thing that came. Never mind.
Is this the worst moment in radio that's ever existed?
No, this is all going to be edited out. No, I'm saying it starts with the P. It's the drug penicillin.
Penicillin's not in Tylenol.
Not in Tylenol. It's an antibiotic.
I'm just saying, don't put the poison don't put the needle of poison right next to the needle of penicillin.
We've come a
That's
long
what
way.
I wanted to say.
We walked a really long route to get to this.
Yeah, I know that. But it was worth it, wasn't it?
Just say the Scungilli Man 9 times. Just do it. Just say
You want me
it.
to try? Maybe later.
Well, brokenhearted, John Hille died soon after his wife, and his 3 children took over the farm. But they, too, would die under either tragic or bizarre circumstances. The first was crushed to death by a bull, trampled to a pulp in a workplace accident. It happens on a farm every once in a while.
Damn.
You're very blasé.
Yeah, that's a little bit like, that happens. Trampled by a bull is not even in that's not the top 1,000 causes of death.
My brother was almost killed that way.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
no
it
kidding.
fucking happens.
Man, people work so much harder than us.
Yes, they do.
The next 2 children died in quick succession after being swept up in a bizarre blackmail plot. See, as I said, the Hilles were German. And anti-German sentiment in America was running pretty high during World War I. So in 1918, the Hille family hired a farmhand named Klaus, who worked with an accomplice to blackmail the Hilles. Klaus and his friend told the family that if they didn't pay up, he would report all of them as German spies.
Damn.
But instead of paying, William Hille grabbed his shotgun, killed Klaus's accomplice, then killed himself in his barn after shooting his horses and his dog.
You sure this guy wasn't fucking Polish?
Yeah, what in the
He just
world?
got out of the blackmailing thing. Why would you then kill everybody the horses and the dog?
Yeah, what the horses do. I mean, leave the horses alone. I mean, come on.
And the
now.
dog.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Bereft with grief, the last Hille killed herself by drinking arsenic and slashing her wrists.
Shit.
20 years later, a couple named the Ransoms moved in to the same farm, and in short order, 2 grandchildren were killed, one by drowning and another crushed to death by farm machinery in the same barn where William shot himself.
This place needs to be burned to the ground.
Yeah, there's something going on there. Something's in the water or the cheese curd. Something's happening.
And reportedly, the last person who owned the farm said that while there was no violent death while he owned it, he regularly saw shadowy figures wandering the grounds. But that might also be his mind playing tricks on him because he bought the fucking death farm.
Well, could be, but did he know it was the death farm
He knew it
before
was
he
the death farm.
reported it?
Everyone in Waukesha knew it was the death farm.
Okay. Did he get a deal on it, or did they charge him double?
I don't think that it works like that. Maybe who knows?
Nowadays, I think you charge double.
He absolutely got a deal on it. Actually, last weekend, me and Carolina took a little road trip. We drove up to the Amityville house, the DeFeo murder house.
Yeah.
Every house around it is extremely nice, well manicured, but the DeFeo house is run down. The windows are all fucked up. The paint job is bad because I think, at least, that the DeFeo house goes for a lot cheaper than all the rest of the houses in the neighborhood, and the people who bought the DeFeo house didn't necessarily have the funds to keep up a house that big.
It takes a lot of money to do all the maintenance, and then but there's also the other side of being like, are they just like us? And we're like, we need to make this place look as fucking creepy as possible.
Could be.
And the inside's just spotless and modern and incredible.
All I know is if I was a kid on that block, Halloween is extra fun. Go to that house. They have to give full-size Snickers bars.
Oh, they fucking
better. Yeah, they better give full-size Snickers bars.
But the Hilla Farm curse wasn't even the only incident of tragic death and murder in Waukesha. In 1921, the decaying, bloated body of a boy killed by a violent blow to the head was found floating in an old quarry outside of town. He was wearing clothes and shoes much nicer than those worn by the folk in Waukesha, so the local press, somewhat cruelly, began to refer to him as Little Lord Fauntleroy.
They're roasting the bloated corpse of a
Because he had
boy.
nicer shoes?
They are doing the reverse, bitter making fun of a fashionable dead boy.
Oh, yeah, he flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, I guess somebody who's got time to go do all the shopping and he did go different stores trying to coordinate his shorts and his shirt. I guess he would have time enough to end up dead in a quarry.
I guess so. I don't know.
I'm too busy working to end up dead in a quarry.
Well, I don't know if that's true, buddy.
I gotta go work at the quarry.
Yeah, you might die in a quarry. You do understand that, right?
My goal is to die next to the quarry.
Well, that's also possible.
Well, Little Lord Fauntleroy's body was never identified, but in 2015, a psychic named Marie St. Clair claimed that the boy had been killed by a slim man in a dark suit.
Yep.
Although that claim was made after Anissa Weir and Morgan Geyser rebranded Waukesha as Slenderman USA.
It rolls off the tongue.
I will say, Slenderman USA is an incredible fashion line, but I hate the cuts of their shirts. They only do show off my tits. But I also find it interesting as you go through this, I find different search results. If you type in Slenderman as one word and Slenderman as two words, they are all Slenderman, our Slenderman content.
Okay.
But everybody can't seem to agree as to whether or not Slenderman is one word or two words.
What if you put the hyphen in there?
He's not married to Gwyneth Paltrow.
I don't know. Conscious uncoupling.
Is there anything better than a summer evening outdoors? Enjoy your space to the fullest with new greenery from Fast Growing Trees. I love a big, thick bush. Fast Growing Trees is America's largest, most trusted online nursery, and they can send me a big, thick bush any time of the day. It arrives at work. It arrives at my car. I can pinpoint on a Google map where it is. Send me a big, thick, brown bush. And they send it immediately when they have it, because sometimes the shaver comes to town. I remember one time I ordered a cherrywood tree from Fast Growing Trees. And my God, I couldn't cut it down, no matter what my father told me to do. I had to lie to him about it. And next thing you know, I became the first president of the United States of America. And even you can become the first president of the United States of America with Fast Growing Trees. Right now, get up to half off select summer planting essentials, plus get an additional 20% off your first purchase with code LEFT at checkout. That's an additional 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, I know what you're thinking. I like to go banking, but I don't want to give to these big old banks all the time that cater to the 1%. Well, go ahead and get yourself hooked up with Chime. It's banking built for you, not just those rich jerks. And they got thousands of fee-free ATMs because why pay to get your own money? Chime is working for you, man. You get your Chime card, you're going to get travel perks, you're going to get into airport lounges, you're going to get those chicken thighs. You know, every time I go to an airport lounge, I get chicken thighs. And you know what I say whenever I see a plate of chicken thighs? Give me more. Chime's going to get you those chicken thighs in these lounges, all right? Sure, they could serve other types of meat, but why would you when chicken thighs are so delicious? Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. Head to chime.com/left. That's chime.com/left. It only takes a few minutes to sign up. Chime is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services for Chime Card provided by Chime's bank partners. Optional products and services may have fees or charges. Stated cashback for Chime Prime only. No minimum balance required. For more information on travel perks, go to chime.com/disclosures.
It's obvious we love true crime, but it does make us feel a little paranoid about what's out there, as it should. And that's why it's so important to get a home security system that gives you peace of mind. With SimpliSafe, you can stop crimes before they even start using their AI-powered cameras to identify threats on your property and alert US-based live agents to take action. Like arriving in a helicopter in the night, coming down from the helicopter, zipping down and breaking through the windows with their big axes, and going through the house, ripping through the walls, finding the criminals. It's easy to do. SimpliSafe has been a game changer for us. And the best part, there's no long-term contract. We've used it since the very early days of SimpliSafe here at LPN, and it keeps us safe, doesn't it? It keeps all of our thoughts inside the building. Then there's the ones we let out because they have to go out because that's a part of it. But SimpliSafe keeps the other thoughts safe. And for that, we say thank you, SimpliSafe. And we want you to experience the same peace of mind as we, which is why we've partnered with SimpliSafe to offer an exclusive discount to all of our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplysafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Now, I'm sure most of you followed what is often erroneously called the Slenderman murders as it was happening. Or you at least watched the overly long HBO documentary about the crime called Beware the Slenderman.
There's another newer, overly long Slenderman documentary on the Reels channel that is also an hour and 45 minutes. And it's them, that's where the Slenderman, they keep calling him the Slenderman again and again.
He has, I will say, for all of the impact that Slenderman has made, he has not done well with cinema or TV.
That movie
Everything
sucks.
about him
That
in the
Slenderman
artistic
movie,
sphere is bad.
It fucking sucks. Marble Hornets, I'm going to get in trouble probably with the younger generation. I hate Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
I hated Marble Hornets.
Yeah. But to give you a refresh, in 2014, two 12-year-old girls named Anissa Weir and Morgan Geyser discovered the Slenderman character on the Creepypasta Wiki, and pretty soon, both had come to believe that Slenderman was real, or at least they were pretending to believe he was real.
I think they did.
Now, Morgan Geyser sort of had an excuse, because she was in the throes of undiagnosed childhood schizophrenia, which is a malady that her father suffered from as well.
And this is my most hot takey topic. This is my most hot takey version of this, is that I wonder about this little girl. Morgan Geyser is she's a troubling person. I wonder what she did that also was purposefully mimicking her father's own symptoms and the things that she heard to talk about. Because when you hear the police interview with Morgan, she throws her friend under the bus so fucking fast.
She's 12.
I'm just saying, there's some conscious thought happening here. There's some plan going on here that is, I don't know. We'll get into it.
It's very complicated. I mean, because that's the thing is that, she did begin hallucinating ghosts at the age of 3. And that wasn't just her saying that, like, I've seen ghosts since the age of 3. It was her mother saying it as well. Like, she used to have full-on hallucinations.
Yeah, I used to see a man in a bandolero hat and little
Could you not,
I
please?
used to see him all the time as a kid, this thing, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I thought
what's the name of this person?
At the time, I just thought he was a friendly Italian neighbor. We grew up in a sort of Italian neighbor, Italian and Latino, so I assumed that he was but I guess, I mean, it always smelled like weird. He smelled strange, but I just figured that was because he was always at the fresh bait shop.
Yeah, was it onion smell?
Yes.
Huh. I wonder who it could be.
But Anissa had no such mental defect. Instead, it seemed as if she just got caught up in Morgan's delusion, yes-anding herself into playing a part in the brutal attempted murder of one of her classmates. See, Morgan and Anissa had come to believe that they were proxies, and if they were to demonstrate loyalty, then they thought that Slenderman would take them away to live in his mansion located in Nicolet's National Forest.
Oh.
Eventually, Geyser claimed to receive a message from Slenderman that gave her a choice. Either murder her best friend Peyton David and go live in the Slender Mansion, or watch as Slenderman murdered both her and Anissa's families.
I like that slender mansion.
No, I
Very
want a
cool.
wide mansion.
Yeah.
I want a large mansion. I
Well,
want
if
a lot
it's
of room in my
long and
mansion.
slender, I
No,
could do
I
a
don't
railroad mansion.
I don't want to be in a railroad mansion.
Well, I mean, it's better than not being in one.
I'm going to need a ranch-style mansion.
Well, I don't know.
But my question is that what it seems to me, from what the breakdown of that Reels documentary actually did a good piecing together of the tenuous relationships of a bunch of 12-year-olds. But Peyton was a new friend, right, to Morgan and Anissa. Anissa and Peyton began to get really close. Morgan was very possessive over Anissa. And something happened during this time period where the Slenderman issue came up. And much like as we see often in pairs that kill, one is the driving force and one's in the sidecar, right? Where Morgan started pitching this idea of like, maybe we could be proxies of Slenderman. That became a thing.
Sure.
Became within their inner mythos. Then it became, I think we gotta kill Peyton. But it became, we gotta kill Peyton because Peyton and Anissa started becoming super, super close. I'm sometimes scared of women friendship circles.
These are
There's a lot of
12-year-olds.
I'm scared of the worst. That's even scarier.
You know, this is what happens if Cartman was a real person and actually fed someone else their own parents in a chili cook-off. This is what happens.
The best episode.
That's very good, very good.
Man, it feels so weird to hear you talking about like, and then Morgan was talking
know,
to
it is.
Anissa.
I know,
and then
'cause
like
they're 12
Anissa
years
and
old.
Peyton were like getting like too close, and like it's just so like stupid.
It's true. It's really weird. I was like me yelling that at Natalie. And she's like, "That's great."
They're children. They're babies.
Well, the night before the attack, Morgan had a birthday sleepover, and both Anissa and the eventual victim, Peyton David, were the only guests. After a breakfast of donuts and strawberries, Anissa, and it's a great breakfast.
That's unreal, dude. That is a Wisconsin breakfast right there.
No, man, you got brats in there. For me,
Not for breakfast,
I
Henry.
like a sliced, one of those like nice like lunch sausages, like one of the TV sausages.
This is breakfast.
That's what I eat for breakfast: sliced cheese, sausages.
You're not a 12-year-old
croissant.
girl who's about to kill their friend. You need to carbo load and also get that
There'll be carbs.
strawberry.
I'm just saying.
Well, Anissa and Morgan, after breakfast, lured Peyton to David's park, bringing along a 5-inch steak knife to use as the murder weapon. But when it came time to kill the girl, Anissa couldn't do it. So Morgan grabbed the knife from Anissa's hands and stabbed Peyton 19 times in the arms, legs, and torso as Anissa watched. Peyton collapsed, and her two assailants left her in the woods to die while they cleaned her blood off at the local Walmart. Satisfied that they had sacrificed their friend to Slenderman, they then started walking down I-95 toward Nicolette's National Forest, absolutely convinced that when they got there, Slender Mansion would be waiting.
But no one told them, and they didn't think about this, that Nicolette National Forest was 30 miles from the murder site.
No, it's actually 300 miles from the murder site.
Geez, I mean, either
They
way,
are 12 years old.
It might as well. It might as well have been. And I know Anissa was like, but this is then you go into the mind of kids, where Anissa was like, and we knew that it was going to be a long walk, so I brought plenty of these healthy gummies so we can get our sugars up so that we could walk.
Aww.
And it's just really sad. It's very sad story.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were picked up on I-95, 5 miles into what was supposed to be a 300-mile journey on foot. And
They were so close.
and both were promptly charged with attempted murder as per a Wisconsin law that allows anyone over the age of 10 to be tried as an adult.
That was ever since we allowed a 9-year-old to be mayor of Waukesha.
Yeah, you got to.
Then we realized 9's too young. But as soon as he turned 10 and we sentenced that first man to death underneath the Mayor Tyler, we knew that actually 10 years old makes you an adult.
Yes, apparently it does. I don't think they should have been tried as adults.
No.
That is me.
No, I agree. After it was all said and done, Anissa was sentenced to 25 years in a mental health facility, while Morgan was sentenced to the maximum term of 40 years to life in a mental health facility for first-degree attempted murder. But what's really fucking creepy about this whole thing is that the night before the attack, Coast to Coast AM had a long discussion about Slenderman, specifically on the possibility that Slenderman had become a tulpa created by the internet. The guest, Bill Murphy, actually speculated that the combined power of global thought surrounding Slenderman could actually be enough to bring him to life. And the next day, that exact thing seemed to happen in Waukesha.
You gotta go Fight Club with it. You can't talk about it. You shouldn't be doing the show then.
Coast to Coast AM is desperate for content.
But if this Murphy guy is like, well, if you keep on talking about Slenderman, a bunch of kids are going to kill another child.
No.
Slenderman, you gotta shut up.
For a while, they just thought that Slenderman would just keep showing up in pictures and like innocent shit. Everybody that's involved in the cryptid world never thinks that one of their beloved cryptids is going to be involved in a murder. But they don't know what would happen if you even try to invade a home of a Bigfoot. They're so private.
Oh, that's absolutely true. Peaceful, though, for my understanding.
Yes.
But they will stand their Bigfoot ground.
They will, and they will make love to your wife.
Well, if that's so desired.
It could be that these girls heard this broadcast and took it as a sign.
They did not hear fucking Coast to Coast AM. They weren't listening to AM.
Yeah. We moonlight as truck drivers. We're the only 12-year-old girls. We just love George Norrie's hip, cool voice.
What me and Anissa like to do sometimes when we're working third shift over at the tire factory is that we like to go to 7-Eleven, put on Coast to Coast AM, drink our hazelnut coffees, and then we get some jerky, and then we coordinate our shits.
Yeah, I found it very hard to believe that a bunch of 12-year-old girls were sitting around listening to Coast AM at a fucking slumber party.
No,
I don't care how much into Slenderman they were.
No,
Definitely not.
No, it fucking Coast to Coast AM is for post-divorcees and pre-divorces.
Yeah,
Yes, and people going through a divorce.
Yeah, you guys remember when you were at fucking sleepovers when you were 12 years old and you just surfed the AM band to see what was out there?
Ooh, well, actually, I think it's,
No, man, we were eating Pizza Hut till someone threw up.
we would watch scary movies.
Pizza Hut was always consumed until somebody threw up. One of my friend group, someone had to always throw up, start crying, and go home. There was always like 5 dudes. One can't handle the fucking Pizza Hut. He bit off,
At
literally
12?
bit off more than he could chew. What?
At 12?
Oh yeah, dog. Fucking, we used to get up in it.
You should start drinking by 12. Shouldn't you have more fun than that? You Pizza Hut party.
You were not raised.
It's for 9. That's for 9-year-olds.
You were literally not raised.
Yeah, you were not raised. Yeah, most kids were still at 12 years old, like having a fun time and not.
We had a great time stealing Keystone Light from one of my dad's friends, or from one of my friend's dads. I was molested. That's what I'm here to say.
Oh, you were also a member of the peanut butter gang.
Peanut butter gang. That's why. Yeah. They got mad at me because I brought chunky peanut butter over the first time.
I hate all these chunks. You get lost in your tendril and hell in the wall.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Well, furthermore, the plan to kill Peyton David was decided upon days before the slumber party even occurred. So while this isn't a simple cause and effect, the synchronicity is eerie as fuck.
Dude, they said that they were fucking planning the murder since December. Man. They were planning the murder for fucking months. This is what I'm saying is that, like, that's why it points towards some other weird impulse. And because schizophrenics don't necessarily murder. We talked about this with Herbert Mullen. Just because you have, like, it's actually very rare for you to flip into hurting other people. It's way more obvious. It happens way more that you hurt yourself.
Sure. This is why
people. Or other
if you're
people
a parent,
hurt
if you're a parent, you just got to go knock on the door, open it up, and be like, "What you guys talking about?" So what you talking about? And if they like shuffle a bunch of papers around and like put them underneath their desk and just be like,
"Oh no, I'll do
math.
what my mom did."
Okay, are you really talking about math? What are you talking about?
I will do what my mom did to my older sister, which is you literally remove the door to the room. They did that move. Where
That's
they
probably not
They
great.
just removed the door and they removed it, and then it led to a lot of drama.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They escalated.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they
I mean,
did.
the schizophrenia thing, it may not have had anything to do with it, because the Waukesha stabbing was only the first in a string of attacks and deaths related to Slenderman in one form or another. And strangely, most of them involved teenage girls. The vast majority involved teenage girls.
Say what you want about Terry the Gnome. Yeah, he's mean-spirited, but he has never inspired anyone to kill.
Nah, the only thing I like to do is I like to get out a squirrel and ride it until it falls asleep. Yeah!
Oh, Terry.
I'll throat fuck a fucking woodchuck if I can get at it, but I tell you what, my cock ain't big enough, but my head is.
Wow, Terry the Gnome organically coming up in the episode.
Yeah, you did this. You threw Terry the Gnome at me.
I've been thinking about Terry the Gnome and laughing. So that's very good.
Well, a week after Waukesha, a 13-year-old girl in Ohio obsessed with Slenderman attacked her mother with a knife, cutting her neck, slicing her face open, and stabbing her in the back. 3 months later, a 14-year-old girl set fire to her house using a bathroom towel soaked in alcohol while her mother and sibling were still inside. Thankfully, both survived, but it was found that this girl was also a Slender fan.
Damn.
She took out, because she said it was she was trying to kill Slenderman. She said that the Slenderman was in the house, and that was the only way she could save her family was by setting the barn on fire.
Damn.
But perhaps the most bizarre and tragic of stories related to Slenderman involved the Pine Ridge Reservation suicides. Between 2014 and 2015, 11 Lakotas, aged 12 to 24, committed suicide on the reservation, and over 100 more attempted it. Now,
What?
Yeah. Now, we know these suicides probably are more related to the absolutely atrocious conditions of our nation's reservations, where the government asked natives to survive impossible situations in a slow continuation of the genocide that started centuries ago.
No way, Marcus. I think it's Slenderman. There's no way it's the failings of our country in any way, shape, or form. It's got to be Slenderman.
Yeah, well, Slenderman didn't help. That's all. I mean, he did not help. That's all.
Yeah, Slenderman helping them.
It's not good.
But what's somewhat chilling about the 2014-2015 suicides is that Lakotas actually have a legend of a suicide spirit known as Walking Sam, sometimes also called the Tall Man.
Man, it's always one of them.
Do not get into your heightest rant.
It's always one of them. You never hear the Tomato Man.
Well, that's because the Tomato Man isn't able to kill.
Tomato Man's not real.
Yeah.
Well, this Lakota creature, 7 feet tall and slim, with long limbs but no mouth, wears a black stovepipe hat like Abraham Lincoln, and has the ability to control minds. Ooh. Now, most likely, this spirit is one of those tales that's meant to explain something that seems unknowable. In this case, Walking Sam is depression, because it's not like clinical depression hasn't been a part of humanity from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. But in 2015, some said that it was Walking Sam who inspired a whole group of teenagers to hang themselves all at once from tree branches, although they were thankfully saved at the last minute after the ropes had already been hung. They were about to do it.
Damn.
Do you think this is fucking... This is a George Norrie question. Do you think kids are more psychic? Like, do you think that kids share collective thoughts more easily than adults and stuff like this? Like, literally a meme living. Like, it is a Walking Sam, this concept. First of all of this sounds like an indigenous people's version of anime, which is fucking great. Like, it's like fucking Serial Experiments Lane. It's like, this is a very interesting story. But do you think that they feed off each other more than adults do? Like, we get more isolated as we get older, and this is easier for them to have, like, groupthink.
Well, I do know that teenage suicides cluster, without a doubt. Like, once, like, that happens a lot, you know, and there was of course, like, other stuff going on the Lakota reservation. There was a lot of...
Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, it was not good. It's nothing's good over there. Yeah, obviously.
No, I think teenagers are definitely more susceptible to groupthink. I don't know if that's a psychic thing or not, but they're definitely more susceptible, especially in this situation.
Although, I'm going to say adults are pretty good at it, too.
No, I'm not talking about that's different.
I'm going to give them a nod.
This is something else. This is like an emotional... The fact that you had a bunch of kids because they talked about walking Sam, even though obviously they are sad and they are depressed either clinically or for straight up just exterior normal reasons to be incredibly sad and incredibly distressed.
Sure.
But they talked about walking Sam as if it was real, and it was a group of kids talking about walking Sam as if it was real. So there's something about their actual sharing of it that kind of did something. There was something about it. I mean, Well,
as a kicker, at least one of the Lakota kids who were successful in their suicide was said by investigators to have been influenced at least partly by the story of Slenderman outside of Walking Sam. Now, I suppose the question here isn't whether or not Slenderman is real, because we know Slenderman isn't real in the sense
it's not real.
No, we know it's not real. At least not in the sense that the three of us are living, breathing entities with real feelings, desires, and hopes. Because we are real people. The three of us are actual, real human beings.
You guys you're just an image on a computer screen, so I don't know if you're still real. But I look at Kissel, and for my amalgamation of whatever I've created of you is, yes, you have become real to me. I don't know if you exist when I leave.
You guys have hopes?
Oh, man.
You guys are still holding on to those.
Yeah. I've been switching them. I don't call them hopes. I call them mopes now.
Yeah.
Well, really? The question is, what sort of power does the character of Slenderman have? Because while the argument could be made that Slenderman is a cryptid of the internet, he's really closer to the old creatures of folklore. I mean, for example, no fringe scientist is writing a paper about the foot ridges left in Slenderman tracks. Nor are people calling press conferences saying they've got Slenderman's body in a cooler.
If they do, they have just killed a person and they put them in a suit.
You tell me that every single media outlet in the country would not show up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd be like, I got Slenderman. I got him.
It would be huge.
It's like, oh my God, that's just Eddie Redmayne.
Oh my goodness, leave Eddie Redmayne alone. I think he's a great actor.
Fuck him. Fuck his big long mouth.
Fantastic Beasts was terrible.
I hate that fucking movie. We walked out.
What did you
and Natalie's a fucking super fan of all that bullshit.
Me
we
too.
Walked out of that
I
thing.
love that show.
Now it comes out. Natalie loves Redmayne.
No, she
Natalie
likes
loves Harry Potter.
The world of Harry Potter.
Yeah. As do I. It's very fun. It's very comforting.
She has no alignment to Eddie Redmayne. She
Are
said
you
this.
sure? Like-
She specifically said this.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Well, you pressed it, obviously.
Yeah, I brought it. I came up.
Okay.
Well, and also, unlike Bigfoots or Chupacabras, it's not like there's a species of Slender Men. There's not a bunch of Slender Men running around.
When you come to L.A.
Slenderman is singular. There's only one, which makes Slenderman more of a living story, and a powerful one at that.
Yeah.
If the phenomenon could be compared to anything, I'd compare Slenderman to Santa Claus.
Oh.
While Santa Claus is not real in the concrete sense, the story of Santa Claus influences the behavior of millions of children every year, making him a highly consequential figure to a large percentage of the Western world. Santa Claus is a living story.
You're not going to give a trigger warning to the parents listening with small children in the room right now, that Santa Claus isn't real?
If you're listening if you're listening to this show and your child still believes in Santa Claus, your child shouldn't be listening to this fucking show.
That's true.
What if their child is 13 years old
I tell you
and
what.
still wants to believe in Santa Claus? Why are you doing away with the wonderful world of childhood?
Because they need to know. Because you know how many years I spent racked with guilt? Because I started early with tugging it, right? I started early with masturbation.
Sure.
And how many times I had masturbated knowing fully on in my child mind that it's not Slenderman, that Santa Claus was watching me, and I still did it. And I guess that's what made me a perfect candidate for the peanut butter game.
Well, I'm sure a lot of those guys looked a lot like Santa Claus. I never believed in Santa Claus. My parents wouldn't let me. So.
Wow.
That's where this comes from. That's where the bitterness.
I destroyed everyone's mythos when I was growing up because they'd be like, Santa Claus, and be like, oh, are you that stupid? And I was like 4 years old.
You were actually more as a libertarian as a 4-year-old than now.
Yeah, probably.
Wow, this really explains so fucking much.
What, you believed in Santa Claus, Marcus?
Yeah, you fucking psychopath.
Why would your parents lie to you like that? I would have been so livid if I found out my parents lied to me like that. Wow. I mean, they lied to me about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah, instead your parents took you to anti-abortion rallies. I would so much rather
You tell me that
Santa
those babies
Claus.
aren't on tongs? Are you going to tell me that's not a chopped up fetus? It's very real.
I'm so sad for you.
Yeah.
it was an interesting childhood. That
I'm glad that we got really deep into this part of you at the very end of the episode.
Yeah. Well, Slenderman would be a better Santa Claus. He can fit down the chimney. So think about that.
That's the thing, is it? Yeah, Slenderman is much the same as Santa Claus, albeit on a much smaller scale. And although Slenderman these days, I mean, he's a joke. And he was made even worse by what, I didn't watch the fucking Slenderman movie. I heard it was absolutely fucking terrible.
I have to tell you this. It takes a lot for me to turn off a movie. I can sit through like a lot of horrible movies, especially in the horror genre. This was such an affront to the whole genre that it had to be turned off.
Yeah. But even so, it's still fascinating to think that humanity has the ability to create new creatures that have consequence, even if they are sometimes monsters.
What?
Oh my God, I smell squid and onion. Scungilli Man. Is that the Italian cryptids? Is that the I'm coming to get you?
Yeah, it's always the theme from The Godfather.
I love. That's very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, there it is. Slender Man. Fascinating. It is honestly, the human aspect of this really is totally completely interesting.
Yeah,
and I would assume this is going to happen again, right? Like I would guess this history will repeat.
I don't know. I mean,
not with Slender Man, but with some other form, with some other thing.
That's how humanity goes. This is just the newest monster that humanity has created.
Yeah, now we have QAnon.
I was scared.
QAnon is just as real as Slenderman, and people are getting killed for it. And eventually, QAnon will be like you could see it cryptidize, like as time goes. If it continues to go over the years, more and more people think that QAnon is just like a person that exists somewhere and not a collective of 15-year-olds trolling boomers.
QAnon has just become the new deep state. It is unbelievable. That's the thing with the minds of the adult. I think that's what's so much worse.
Yeah.
I can give the kids a pass.
Yes.
I mean, for me, it was Pennywise the Clown.
Yeah.
I was truly horrified of Pennywise the Clown.
I was too. Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Totally worked.
Yeah.
I was
Candyman.
deeply frozen with fear about Bloody Mary as a little boy. I used to think that I would do it like it was intrusive thoughts. It was like my first instance of intrusive thoughts where I thought that like I'd go in the bathroom and that my mind would just make myself say Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
And you would you would see her.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. So I get it, man. I get a 12-year-old going online, and the thing that they have the ability to is have a full lore right in front of them, like Slender, and you're building it too. I totally get this.
Yeah,
it's like the Erector set of cryptids.
Yeah, you
like
can
you just
add
get
to
to
it.
build it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can be a part of it. We never got to be a part of it because we were not in the room when they wrote it or created it.
No, and then you read the book and you found out all those kids had sex with each other too. That was the whole thing.
That's why I don't read any books that are based off of movies. All right. So thank you all so much for watching. That's a classic Kissel joke.
This is listening. You also said watching. We gotta.
No, I said, oh, yes, thank you for listening.
This is an audio.
Well, unless they're staring at their phone, just watching, I don't know what they're doing.
The minutes go? That would be so scary. Don't listen to the podcast like that.
I've done
Honestly,
it. I've stared at a logo.
I do just
sometimes. I don't know. I get overstimulated,
Huh.
There's a lot of stimulation out there. All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode. And let's see. So let's talk about merch. We got some kick-ass new merch.
Our new fan art.
Yes.
Go check it out. It is on lastpodcastmerch.com.
Absolutely. And, of course, we also have all the shows on the Last Podcast Network. We kind of got a revamped website there. Hopefully it's a little easier to click around and find what you like. We have
all of our bullshit.
So much fun stuff.
And the fan art T-shirt comes from Alayalto at IG. That is Alexandra Runyon at ALLAYALTO.
Absolutely.
And don't forget that the pre-order on that shirt is only going to be available until July 31st. So if you want to get your Hellish Rebuke shirt, get it soon because it won't be available for long.
Hellish Rebuke. And we got the Kind of Fun shirt. We got the Top Hat shirt. We got a whole bunch of shirts out there.
You got to start pushing that Kind of Fun merch.
Oh, yeah. Are you our manager? Thank you.
Push that merch.
I know I'm supposed to push the merch. I'm pushing right now.
Oh, no, he's pooping.
Is that Slenderman?
And don't forget to go buy your No Dogs in Space shirt if you want to buy the shirt, but don't buy the shirt until you listen to the show. This week, we're on part 2 of The Cramps, part 2 of a 3-part series. I know our spooky people out there in Last Podcast Land love The Cramps, so come on and listen.
Well, I actually have been known to buy the shirt first and then force myself to watch the movie or watch The Wrestler. I have totally done that. And I'm like, I'm going to be a poser unless I see this. And then sometimes you realize that it's not great. But
sometimes you find out that like a horror movie shirt of a movie you haven't heard of, the reason why you didn't watch it is because the image on the shirt comes from the only good scene in the film.
Yeah.
Always.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's the one iconic thing that you could wring out of the movie, so then it becomes the only thing that goes on a shirt. But honestly, I have to watch the movie before I buy the shirt.
Yeah,
I would rent any movie that had, do you remember when they would have that plastic film and they would have the fake blood?
Oh, yeah.
On the VHS.
Yeah.
I would rent any movie that had any flair to it. It was always dog shit. Always.
Yeah, you spend all the money on marketing.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We also have a Patreon. We got a new interview this week, so thanks so much for giving to our Patreon. Hope you're doing as well as you can in these trying times. We'll continue to truck through 2020. Hell, man, we're over halfway done.
Yep. And
we're gonna get through this as always.
Yep. And if I may give a small apology to the people of Lubbock, sorry, we're not going to be able to make it back next year.
But we will have a belt fight scheduled for 2022, and it's going to be huge.
Yeah,
it's going to be huge.
Maybe if Lubbock would buy pre-sale tickets, then
Marcus,
we would be
you just apologized, and now you have to apologize to them again. You walked back the apology.
I know. I know what it's like to live in Lubbock and to not have people come because the rest of Lubbock ain't quite into it. But yeah, we hope to see you in all the other Texas dates that we do. Yeah, we'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you for supporting us in the first place.
Wow, Marcus, the amount of passion. All right, everyone.
It's not like Lubbock has just finally rejected me for the last time. It's not like that. It's not like that at all.
I didn't do this.
It's not like a rejection that Texas has made of me my entire fucking life is finally in a concrete form in the sales of guise of low ticket sales in Lubbock.
Someone get the net. Text them.
Get the net. Honestly, get the net. Lubbock, you made us get the net.
Hey, Lubbock's the reason why the net first came out back in 2006.
That's when the net got fucking braided.
Oh my goodness. All right, everyone. We love you. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Hail Geen.
Magustulations, everyone.
Hail me, hey. Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. And hail the Scungilli Man. Scungilli Man?
No, we shouldn't hail him. We should be very hesitant to allow the Scungilli Man to get total hold.
Something's grabbing my Johnson. It's the Scungilli Man!
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.
Hi, listeners. Marcus, Ed, and Henry here. It's a little bit of an announcement.
You loving all the episodes of Last Podcast on the Left lately? Well, listen, now you can get even more from us.
Squeeze it out of us. If you want to hear new episodes ad-free and unlock access to Last Podcast on the Left 7 days early, subscribe to SiriusXM Podcast Plus on Apple Podcasts or visit SiriusXM.com/Podcast Plus to start your free trial today. Do it.